If your pop-up is only collecting an email address, you're throwing away the single most valuable piece of data a new visitor will ever give you. Today, I want to walk through the one question every e-commerce pop-up should be asking and why it matters more than the email itself and what to do with the answer once you have it. I run a Klaviyo agency, so I look at a lot of pop-ups, both for clients and just in the space generally. And almost every one of them does the same thing. Hey, enter your email, get 10% off. That's it. Hey, you get an email, you get a discount, which is fine. The discount is fine. The pop-ups are fine. You've seen them. They look more or less like this, right? Get 10% off your first order, drop your email, subscribe, boom, boom, boom. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But the thing is missing a huge opportunity on how to take it further. This is because the moment someone fills out the pop-up is when they're willing to tell you something about themselves. And typically, like with this here, is it's just getting wasted, right? We're not actually getting anything that useful other than the email. So that's the missed opportunity, right? Because when they're doing that, that's when we can grab it. So this is an example. We want to be asking one question. It doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be a really long question. Just one question, trying to understand what it is the person is looking for or what they're trying to achieve. It depends on the product, of course, and the category that you're in. But this is an example of what you want to do. So we've got our 10%, we've got our email. Everything is more or less the same. This right here is the one difference. And this is what takes it from being just your normal pop-up to something that is much, much more powerful. So let's take an example for a protein brand, right? So what are you working towards? Getting lean, putting on muscle, more protein day to day, getting summer ready, right? Again, this is just an example, but this really illustrates how you are now getting deeper into the actual psychology and what the person is looking for. You're not just saying, hey, take 10% off, here's an email, boom, boom, boom. You're now actually understanding, why are people coming to the brand? Why are they shopping with you? What are they looking for, right? Now, again, this is one example. So you want to think about how this could be used in some other brands. So let's just look through some real quick, right? So for a skincare, what are you looking to achieve? Reduce dark spots, improve acne, brighten complexion, rebalance my skin. What are you shopping for? Let's say it's a fashion brand, right? A wedding, a date, day to day for the office. What are you trying to achieve? Let's say it's a supplement brand, right? Better sleep, more energy, immune support, gut health. Lastly, what are you working towards? This is kind of the same one, so I won't go over this. Either way, each one is asking a question that's just a little bit further, a little bit more information, understanding the customer a little bit better, what they're looking for, why they're shopping with you, the motivations behind what they do. Once you have this data, once somebody answers this goes inside of Klaviyo. This gets stored as a profile property inside of Klaviyo. That stays with the profile, so no matter where this person goes, you have that little tidbit of information, right? Now, as you start to collect more and more of this data, number one, it's very important, like I mentioned, that it gets stored inside of Klaviyo in the profile property, so it's attached to that profile. That gives you a little bit of information about that person specifically. But the other thing that is really beneficial is as you start collecting this data, you'll start to notice patterns, right? And so this data will start to get aggregated. For example, right, coming back to our protein, if everyone or 60% of people is saying get lean, you're now starting to get an idea of the customers that you're attracting. And this is really, really useful because with this data, you can actually start to do more than just say, put it inside of the profile property and maybe do some customization around those emails. You can actually start to shift your messaging on your website, your messaging in your ads, and the messaging inside of your emails. If you know that the people that are coming to your site and purchasing from you are 60% of the time looking to get lean, that tells you a ton about the psychology and the mindset and the way you need to approach that customer in your messaging across all of your platforms. Right? So it goes further than just getting a little bit of data about that one person, and it starts to become a shape and understanding of those people, and you can really start to do more and more with that. So the other thing that you can start to do is once you have that attached to the profile, you can actually start to do some personalization. And so this is what I mean. Once you have that in, right, somebody has said, hey, I am looking to get lean. Now, most people, when you go through their welcome series, they just have more or less generic copy, generic products, and it just says, hey, these are our best sellers, come in and buy them. This is why they're so great. But if you know that that person is looking to get lean, you wouldn't say, hey, our protein is great. Everything has 25 grams to help you reach your goal. You would say, I know you're working on getting lean this summer. Here's exactly how our protein fits into that. It's high protein, low sugar, and macros that let you cut without losing muscle. Right now, we really can actually speak to that person, their goals, what they want, what they're looking to do. Right? And so that is such a valuable piece of information. And if done right, you can actually start to leverage that inside of multiple places, inside of that welcome flow, inside of abandoned carts, abandoned checkouts, inside of post-purchase flows, or inside of certain campaigns as you're trying to leverage that data and bring it in. So really, what this means is this information that you're getting compounds, right? So as you start to build more and more, you can do more and more. So as you start to bring it all together, this comes from the pop-up. And this is why it is so, so important to be collecting that right in the beginning, right? So it's not just grab this piece of info and then we'll have this for later. It is a compounding effect that you start with one place, you start to get an understanding of your customers, and then you can start to leverage that into more and more things. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I would be happy to show you how we are using this and how we set this all up.